Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Playing some jazz today. I'm going to play some different instruments for you. How about a little jazz flute? Little flute for you. Let's see, how about some jazz, a bit of jazz trumpet. Austin, I will play some tenor sax pretty soon. Play E natural. E natural is F sharp on the trumpet. That actually kind of fits this song. Oh, I have this too. You ever seen one of these? Plunger mute. All right, I'll play some alto sax. Dahlia wants alto sax. For clarinet and flute. I'll play some more clarinet. Maxwell, I don't have a tuba. I do have a baritone. I'll play baritone. All right, so that's credit. Here is a baritone. By the way, I'll tell you what I'm doing, everybody. I am playing some jazz improv. So if anyone out there, if you've heard of what jazz improv is, maybe you could chime in on the chat. What does it mean to play an improvised jazz solo? What do you do to play an improv jazz solo? Let's see what you guys say. Neil has to go. Sorry, Neil. We just started. What does it mean to do jazz improv? Does anyone know the answer to that? Does anyone already play in a jazz band? Okay, Austin says you play with the song, play together. Oh, everyone's saying they have to go. Okay, well, Libby says, play notes over chords that, yeah, play notes that fit the chords of the song. So what I'm doing, everybody, is I'm playing improvisation on a type of song called a blues. So has anyone ever heard of the blues? A blues is a special kind or a specific kind of song that has a repeating chord progression. And I'm doing jazz improv on a blues. I was playing on a flute, on a clarinet, on a trumpet, and the notes I'm using are mostly from something called a blues scale. Well, I'm using my own kind of blues scale. It's like a pentatonic scale. Whoops, a little stuff out there. That never happens, right? So that's a pentatonic scale, and I'm adding in some other flatted notes. So I'll do some jazz improv on baritone, and then we'll talk about how to get started with jazz improv. So here is the blues. Libby got it. Good, Libby. Let's talk a little bit about how you do jazz improv. So the first thing you do if you're playing on a blues song like I am is the first thing you can do is you can just play on one single note. So I'm going to demonstrate doing some jazz improv just on one single note. So what instrument should I use for that? Let's have you guys vote for that. I'm going to demonstrate doing jazz improv on just one note. First answer was alto. I'm going to do alto. That was from Spec. Okay. So the scale that I'm using, or the key that I'm doing, is concert B flat. So concert B flat on the alto sax is a G. Here's G. See that right there? 1, 2, 3. So you can do an improv solo just getting started with just one note, and you can play around with the rhythms. So I'm going to do that. Here we go. You can also use the high octave. So that was just one note, right? And so if you're a little bit shy about doing jazz improv, you can start on one note, and then you can get comfortable with like making up your own rhythms. Then we're going to move out to 2 notes. And some people were requesting I go back to flute. So here's my flute. Okay. And I'm going to do some improv on just 2 notes. I'm going to keep our concert B flat, but I'm also going to add in a concert F below. So it's going to be B flat. I'm sorry, not concert F, concert G. B flat, G, B flat. And even just adding one extra note like that, you can have like a pretty good sounding jazz solo. So here we go. 2 notes on flute. Change the octave. So that was 2 notes. All right, getting a little bit more interesting. Now you can expand out to, oh, Austin is asking me what the track is called. I am using YouTube. I just searched for B flat blues, and this is The channel is called Guitar Improvisation. So just search for B-flat blues. I'm going to expand out to 3 notes, and Kaiser is asking me, Kaiser Palpatine is asking me about trombone. So I'm going to go to trombone for my 3-note example. Okay, here's my trombone. And I see a lot of questions coming through of some interesting questions. So any questions you have that are about other things other than jazz improv, you can keep asking those, and we'll get to other questions in just a few minutes. So here's my trombone. I'm going to use 3 notes. We're going to keep our B flat. I'm using the upper octave B flat and the G, 4th position. There it is. So high B flat, G, and I'm going to add in F. Who wants a shout out? Usha wants a shout out. Hi, Usha. All right, so here's 3-note jazz trombone improv. B flat, G, F. Here we go. So that was 3-note jazz improv, okay? So the idea is, if you're shy about playing jazz improv solo, because you're kind of, some people get a little bit shy about jazz improv because you don't have any notes written out telling you what to play. You have to make it up yourself. So you can get a break out of your shyness by starting with just 1 note, and then 2 notes, and then 3 notes. Gerardo Cervantes has been asking about tenor. I haven't played any tenor sax yet. So I'm going to break out my tenor sax, and I'm going to show you 4-note jazz improv. Okay, so we're going to keep our concert B flat. Ooh. Okay, so we have a high C, then our concert G, concert F. But then what I'm going to do, I'll do it down an octave. Okay, so we have. I'm going to add in. This is where it's going to sound a little bit bluesier. Okay. That blues note we're going to add in is a concert D flat, or it's an E flat on tenor. That is like the bluesy note. So I'm going to keep my, I'm going to add in. So that's 4 notes, and you're going to get a pretty good sounding jazz solo. Here we go. I'm changing some octaves. So that sounded, maybe, I don't know how that sounded to you. I mean, if you didn't realize that was only 4 notes, you might think, you know, that was just a normal jazz solo that you would hear in a jazz band, but it's pretty simple. It was just 4 different notes I was using, and I was jumping around the octaves too. So that kind of gets you started with a little jazz improv. You can use those 4 notes, F, G, B flat, D flat, and I'm talking in concert key, F, G, B flat, D flat, and you can play around on a B flat blues track on YouTube. That's a really cool thing to do. So I thought we would do some jazz improv today because we're kind of finishing up marching band season. How many of you, show of hands, shout out if you were in your school marching band this year? If you're in high school or maybe middle school. Anyone here in marching band? We just finished up marching band season, and we're getting started with jazz band season. And so India was in marching band, Usha, Jao, I hope I'm saying your name right. Wow, a lot of you. Okay, some of you are in college. Okay. Wow, a lot of you folks are in marching band. Our marching band just finished up. You know, marching band season usually ends up somewhere around November, depending on how far your football team, like at our school, we go to all the football games, and our football team is really good. You always go into the playoffs. And we were at a playoff game this past Friday night. It was freezing cold. And our football team, unfortunately, lost the playoff game. So we're completely done with marching band now. And we also, our marching band had playoffs, not playoffs. Our marching band had championship competition last Saturday, and we had a great time. It was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I don't know if you guys know, I'm in the Philadelphia area in Pennsylvania. And if you guys ever heard of Hershey chocolate, we actually are pretty close to Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we have our marching band finals there. So that's some fun stuff. So marching band is finishing up, and we're getting started with jazz band. We just had jazz band auditions, and let me know, check in if you guys are involved with your jazz band at school. That would be cool to know. And so I was thinking about jazz, and I thought we would do some jazz improv today. I think we're going to jump into some questions, and I want to welcome, we have Dennis here today. Say hi, Dennis.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi. And we have Uncle Joe helping out in the comments. So thank you, Uncle Joe. And Dennis, do you have any questions popping out at you that we should talk about?
Yeah, one of them was one hole is an open hole flute. Do you recommend that for intermediates?
Yeah, okay, an open hole flute. Someone asked about an open hole flute. Here is my flute, and as you can see how this key right here is kind of solid, and these keys have holes in the center, like donuts, okay? Did Jennifer ask about that?
I don't have
Jennifer just checked in and said, yeah. So if you get a beginner flute, your keys look like this. All your keys look like this. They're all filled in for you, because for a beginner with smaller fingers, sometimes it's harder to cover the holes. But for advanced flutes, intermediate and advanced flutes, they do open holes because it adds a better quality to the tone if these holes remain open when they're not being played, okay? And so if you upgrade to an intermediate or a professional model flute, you're definitely going to see open holes. And they also come with little plastic plugs in case your fingers are still growing and you're not used to covering them, the holes. You can put the little plastic plugs in. Jennifer's asking, so you've played flute for a year now. Should you get an open hole? I think as long as you know you're going to stick with playing your instrument, this goes for everyone. As long as you know that you're pretty sure you're going to stick with playing your instrument for a while, and if you can afford it to purchase what we call a step-up instrument, intermediate. Professionals are really expensive, but if you can step up to an intermediate, as long as you're responsible and careful with your instrument, because if you upgrade, you always want to take care of your instrument, but especially if you spend a lot of money on it, you got to be responsible with your instrument. So if you want to invest the money, I definitely recommend it because it helps you get a better sound. So I'm going to jump a couple of random questions here. Someone said India wants to know how to play a G sharp on the clarinet. That's a quick one. Right here, it's this key. It's also called an A flat. You play it with the side of your index finger. That's the A flat / G sharp. If you're playing it low, you play it down here, 1, 2, 3, and that's a low G sharp. Dennis, what do you got for me?
There's a question from Giselle. Why do people play jazz or blues?
Oh, Giselle wants to know, why do people play jazz or blues? Well, you might ask, why do people play rock and roll? Why do people play country music? Why do people play classical music, folk music, any music you can think of? It's just, the really awesome thing about music is it's almost limitless in the different styles that you have. So different people like different things. One of the cool things about jazz and blues is it has that improvisation element to it. And when you play your instrument, you can create your own solo and really sort of, a lot of people think about you're expressing your emotions, especially when you're singing the blues. It's all about expressing your emotions, and it's a really cool thing. It's one of my favorite types of music, jazz and blues. Oh, you're welcome, Giselle. Let's see. Is alto sax the easiest out of? Aji wants to know if alto sax is the easiest out of my instruments. My answer to this question always is there are easy things about certain instruments and there are challenging things. So saxophone is probably one of the easier instruments to start on, but it can be very challenging when you get into the advanced versions of playing alto sax. I think all the instruments have their own challenges, so I wouldn't say one is much easier than another. So welcome, Shivani. We did start at 4 o'clock today, a little early. So I'm sorry if you missed the beginning part of our live stream. Dennis, what do you got? What do you see?
Well, somebody asked if you could make video on sight reading. They were inspired by what you were doing here. And then there have been a lot of requests for Seven Nation Army.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Seven Nation Army. Okay, that is all right. I'll talk about Seven Nation Army for a second. I really should make a video about this because you guys, I know you're asking me about it in a lot of my live streams. Austin, did you ask about Seven Nation Army? A couple people. So Seven Nation. Oh, Austin asked about the sight reading. Okay, yeah. Thank you. The thing about Seven Nation Army, it's one of our songs that we play in the stands. If you're in a marching band, in our marching band, when we're in the stands cheering on the football team, we play Seven Nation Army. Is there anyone here from Garnet Valley watching by any chance? Because I forget what note we start on when we play it in our school. It's a really easy tune. I think we start on A, on trumpet. Usha goes to Garnet Valley? Are you you're not in the high school though. Maybe you're in a younger grade. If anyone in the high school band can tell me what note we start on. I think it goes, so on trumpet I'm going to play A, C, A, G, F, E, like this. Ooh. Yeah, Einstein, it is a G. It's a concert G, but on trumpet it's an A. It's a very simple song because it's only da, na, 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 na. It's 5 notes, okay? Aji thinks you start on E on the trumpet. Well, you could start on E. That would be a little bit low to play in a band. So I think we start on an A on the trumpet. So that's trumpet. And then if we did it on the same key, in the same key, does anyone have a particular instrument you want me to play Seven Nation Army on? Thank you, Luke Boy. Luke K. I could do it on clarinet. Oh, I predicted the future. Lucy requested clarinet. So A, C, A, G, F, E. A lot of people are requesting sax. Okay. Dennis, you're right. This was a very popular choice. A, C, A, G, F, E. If I get a chance in the description of this video, I'll put the names of the notes of this song. Very simple. Bum, 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 bum. On sax, alto sax, you'd start on an E. E, E, G, E, D, C, B. That is it on alto sax. Lawson, I think, do I remember you from other weeks asking me about oboe? And I failed my homework assignment. I didn't bring an oboe this week. I'm very embarrassed. I am going to have, I promise you, I will have an oboe at one of my future live streams. How about, tenor sax. Okay, tenor sax is going to be the same as, Aji, that's a great question. Aji asked me if this is a Mark 6. Yes, it is. It's one of my prized possessions. A Mark 6 is a really well-known model of professional saxophone, and they're really awesome saxophones. My tenor is a What is this called? A reference 54. Lawson, what oboe do I recommend for high school and middle school? Selmer makes a good oboe. I know Fox is known for their double reeds. I have to look that up and get back to you. There's an F. Who else makes a good oboe? F. Laurie, I think is the name of the manufacturer. I can Google that for you. Oh, here's Seven Nation Army on tenor. A, A, C, A, G, F, E. So pretty simple song, no matter what instrument you're playing it on. Okay. So other questions. Let's see. Dennis.
What would you say to a new oboist?
What would I say to a new
Someone is just starting?
Well, I would say, first of all, congratulations on starting on oboe. Oboe is a wonderful instrument, and I know at my school we sometimes don't have enough kids that want to play oboe. So congratulations for playing oboe. I'm sure your band director is going to love having you in class. The thing about oboe is you have to practice a lot with just getting the right band face, the right embouchure, and getting a good sound with your reed. And with the reed on the oboe, just getting a nice steady sound and supporting with strong air pressure. Because you want to have a lot of air support when you play your note, keep the note steady, and you want to use either a piano or a tuner to make sure you're using your muscles correctly to match the pitch so it sounds like it lines up with the other instruments. That is my number one piece of advice when you're practicing, is to really have supportive air. You gotta blow really strong and support your note. Okay. Let's see here. The Legit wants to know, can I show you how to tongue on the clarinet? Sure. Tonguing on clarinet or any reed instrument is pretty similar. Sometimes when people talk about tonguing, they'll say use the tip of the tongue on the tip of the reed. Tip of the tongue to the top of the reed, or the tip of the reed. They'll say the tip of the reed and they'll say the tip of your tongue. And when I was learning clarinet, sometimes that confused me because I thought they meant like the edge of your tongue, like on the edge of the reed. And really, it's not the edge. So your tongue is really, pardon me sticking out my tongue, it's not right on the very tip of your tongue. It's like right in front of the tip, like ha. Okay? And you want to hit the reed not on the edge. You want to hit it right here. So imagine, so say 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. Everyone say that. 2 2 2 2 2, or do 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 do, right? When you do that, think about where your tongue is hitting behind your teeth, or right where your gums are, and then take away your voice and go and feel the air. That's what we do on the clarinet. You make your band face. Austin just did it on the chat room. Yeah, good. So my tongue, like right here, is hitting right about there on the reed. And that is how you tongue the reed. Okay, Austin says da, da. Okay, you can think da, da. Different teachers use different syllables. Da, da, do, do, ta, ta, tu, tu. It all depends on the type of sound you're trying to get. The most important thing is that your tongue actually touches the reed. Let's see. Einstein is asking, can you do vibrato on the oboe? You're asking if I personally can do it, or if anyone can do it. Oboe is probably, I'm going to make a confession here. Oboe is probably on the list of instruments that I can play. Oboe is a little further down. I need to practice more on my oboe. So I don't have a really good vibrato. A professional oboist would play with a really nice vibrato. And you should listen to professional oboe players. You could just Google or YouTube, look for oboe solo, and you can find a professional oboist and listen to how they're doing their sound. India has requested, I wanted to talk about this. India Reardon just asked about Jingle Bells on clarinet, And someone at the beginning of the chat, because we're getting close to the end. We're about 30 minutes, and we're getting close to the end. So beginning of the chat, someone asked me about they needed a Christmas song to play. And if you go to my blog, our website where we put all of our sheet music, it's called gobando.com. I'll put a link down in the description. You can search for this download called Beginner Band Tunes, okay? And this goes for anyone who's watching. I have this packet for all the instruments. It's called Beginner Band Tunes, and you can download it. And India asked about clarinet, so you would go download the one that says clarinet/trumpet because they play the same notes in beginner band. And here on the back page of the packet, number 31, 32, yeah, 31, 32, 33, and 34 are all sort of holiday songs of this time of year. So I'm going to play a little Jingle Bells on clarinet from number 31 in the book, in the packet. I'm going to play it kind of fast. There's your basic beginner Jingle Bells. Some of you are asking where you can get this music from. You go to my website, which is gobando.com. I'll put it in the description. And you search for this, Beginner Band Tunes, and you should be able to find it. It's a free download. Has a whole bunch of beginner songs, and it has, like I said, some holiday, some Hanukkah, Christmas songs here on the back. So we're just about out of time. I want to thank all of you for being here and remind you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel. Find me on Instagram and Twitter if you do Twitter and that stuff, and Facebook. You can find me at Dr. Selfridge. So I'd love to have you some new subscribers on these things over here, in addition to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. How about we do a check-in? I always love to do this. Can we do a little check-in just to see? I'll do some shout-outs, and I want to see where you guys. Thank you, Brianna, for subscribing. We'll do some check-ins of where you're watching from, and we'll do some shout-outs. So thank you all for watching. Where are we watching from? Libby. Hi, Libby. I remember you. You're here all the time. You're from Florida. Thank you, Austin. Cleveland. James Bond. Oh, this is going fast. James Bond is in Cleveland. Grace is in Texas. Hi, Grace. Austin in Florida. Brianna, there's a shout-out for you. Lucy. Nashville. Random is from Azul. Where is that? Is that a town, or is, I'm sorry, I don't know where that is. Or is it, I don't know if that's, check it again, Random, and let me know where you're from. Danielle and Moore is from Tennessee. Hello, everybody. The Legit is from Australia. Wow. Cool Kid is from Oregon. Kelsey from Texas. Devern Sharma. Oh, I lost you. Where'd you go? My chat is going fast because you're all checking in, which is great. Miami. Shivani's in Colorado. Max is in Texas. And Random Films is, oh, okay. Random Films is from Azul, Texas. And Luis's Theories is from Connecticut. Luis Celestino from Utah. Subscribe from Manchester. So many people, okay? James Garut is from Oklahoma. Max from Texas. Wow, Max, you're in Texas and Vatican. Wait, is there a Vatican City in Texas? Really? That's interesting. Bachi or Baki is from Sweden. Vida is from Ghana. Okay. It's a clarinet thing. Just wants me to shout the word clarinet. Creepy Horror Conspiracy is from Mission, Texas. Well, guys, India, there's your shout out. Okay, thank you. AZ, not Ozzy. Okay, got it. I got the pronunciation right. Thank you for that correction. So, folks, thank you so much for watching. It's Thanksgiving week, so I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving week. A lot of folks here in America get together with their families on Thanksgiving, so I hope you all have fun. And Don't eat too much turkey, but enjoy yourselves. Make sure you practice. If you have some time off from school, make sure you spend some time practicing your instruments. And check in with me. I will be here next week again with another live stream. Dennis, thank you very much.
No problem.
Thanks, Dennis. And Uncle Joe, thank you for being in the chat room. And folks, I will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.